Hello everyone. Right. Let's see if this works. It's been a very long wait to get to here today. Sorry that we're running a little bit late. What can I say? You never really do plan for when your hot water system decides not to make any hot water overnight. It's quite a fun moment. Here we are. Trying to open up the video now. Excellent. Right, it's loading. Oh, right. So it's going good. So hello everyone. Welcome to Mixed Media Saturday with me, Naomi-Jon Redshaw. Today we're going to be creating a art journal page that focuses on intentionally making white space, which means not filling the whole entire page. If your Facebook isn't working, we're also recording this on YouTube today. So it should pop up this afternoon on both Facebook and YouTube as a video that you can rewatch. However, I was told that my last video that I did, the YouTube only popped up literally 2 days ago. So I am going back through and fixing that up. So then if you do watch these on YouTube, you can watch them pretty much immediately. Well, that is the general intention. If it does get fixed, miracle. If it doesn't, same old normal Naomi. You cannot fix technology. Right. Anyway. So let's get started. Oh, good morning, Tash. Right. So, I don't really create pages that focus on white space, but here's for trying. So today, the main things I'm going to be using to create the white space is this vellum sheet from Springtime Tea Party. Just because I'm using the vellum, because it's see-through A, and B, it'll give it like a little nice collage effect, because I always have to put some form of collage down before I create. I don't know what it is. It's like people who, like, you know, when you paint a canvas and you've got to prime it first with gesso if it comes on prime, because it absorbs too much paint then if it isn't primed. It's kind of like my priming stage collage. And then we're going to be using this lovely stencil, because look at the butterflies. Look how cute they are. Look at that. I'm secretly an 80-year-old with a 5-year-old attention span. Right? And some of the inks. Now, I don't know what the inks are for intentionally. I think they're for refilling a pen. Mom does sell these, but they're like they're in a tubey thing. This one here. I've got my tube. So, like, they're a tube, as you can see. And we're going to use one of them today to do, like, painting with. Because ink's actually really helpful when you want to create white space, because it's not too, like, heavy in a sense. And we'll see where this goes. If you've got any color suggestions, please make them along the way, because I will be needing some. Right. So we're going to put that aside. So we're not going to start off with that one or with that one. And we're going to actually put on, I know, paint first. Dangerous. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Tanya. Sorry I'm a bit late today. My hot water decided not to make anything overnight. And I went for a pool swim this morning a bit later than usual. And lo and behold, when I got back, no hot water. So, yeah, it was one of those moments of going, this is nice. What a lovely surprise. So, you know, I also think that I'm getting allergic to eggs, which is another lovely moment. But anyway, you ladies do not need to hear about that one. So what I'm going to come and do is I'm just going to scrape my yellow. And because we're focusing on making white space, we want to keep most of this page with nothing on it. I know this is going to be a little bit harder than usual, because normally I just fill. Yeah, that's the goal. Fill the page. Fill it so you can't fill it anymore. But no, today we are not filling. We are lightly spreading. I am moving home. So the moving date is the, so I finished work on the 6th, 9th. So my parents come down on the 9th to help me pack everything into the trailer. And then on the 10th, we're like, and on the 9th and 10th. And then we hand the keys back on the 11th. So I have arrived. Oh, thank you, Father. So yeah, but we are, so I move out in, I think, about 3 weeks. And I'm getting close to it. I started packing and cleaning last night because I gotta need to start showing people around the place. So, you know, when you are up to that phase where cleaning's more messier than what it was originally, that's kind of where I'm up to at the moment. However, I'll get there. Yeah, just a bit. I don't know, Dad. I didn't check that before I came onto the live. Hello, Marlene. However, I did manage to like get to the point of shampooing my hair before I got sick of the cold water in my shower. So what I've done is I've shampooed, but I haven't conditioned. Which is one of those moments where you're like, oh, probably should have conditioned. But like, we would have been even later, and yeah, nah. So now that we've done that, so what I've done is I've scraped some paint down and I've done some stamping. Now my stamping has stuck to the 3 pattern rule and the paint stuck to the 1. So, because we're trying to aim for white space, so we're not going full out. We're not going to try and add white. We're just doing, I don't know how people do this. A little bit here and a little bit there. And then not too much. Oh, good morning, Chloe. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to, because the aim is, I think, restraint in these areas. Apparently white space is good. I wouldn't know. So then, put that one there. So I'm coming in and I'm making these patterns. If you're not really confident with making patterns by hand, I definitely suggest stencils. They are the be-all and end-all when it comes to these types of things. And you can generally get every type of pattern in a stencil, not going to lie. So yeah. So there we go. Remembering that we're not trying to fill, we're simply adding color, which is why our collage layer hasn't come on yet. Just because, you know, if we do, it would fill the whole page. Now, with the patterns, because we want to leave majority a white space, we want to make sure that the patterns are kind of very detailed in small ways, because if they aren't, it will look very empty, I guess you could call it. And we don't want the page to seem empty. We just want it to be a little bit more filled. You know, you want to be able to see what you've done. That makes sense. Which is why I always make sure people can see my collage layer, because the bottom always needs to be recognized. Okay. And then we might just put one up here. I know, white space. Well, we haven't filled too much yet. Yes, Chloe, every time we always need to put color everywhere. So what I might do is I might just put Also, if you have any color suggestions, please make them as we go, as I'm just doing whatever comes closest and all the rest of it. So then what we need to do now is we're going to come in and just I don't think I got all the glue off my nib. It's great. And then I know that kind of seems a little bit superfluous, that step, but every little bit counts. So even if you do like a ton of lots of little things and lots of colors, as long as you leave enough white space, technically it will work. So, you know, you don't have to worry too much about it. And then we're just going to come in and do. Also, just a heads up, if your Facebook isn't working too well, you can also hop over to YouTube because we are recording this on YouTube. My mom has told me to start asking people to subscribe to my channel because when I finish up work, we will be creating a few more shorts of like some basic techniques and stuff like that. Some how-tos. If you do have anything that you want a how-to on, please let me know. Because, yeah, well, we will be doing some more of those. We do already have, I think, a few recorded. It's just, yeah, the editing. Thank you. Okay, and morning, Diane. And morning. Now that we've got that done, not those yet. What color do you reckon we should add? I think we need a color that's like completely different from what we've got because everything's dry. Oh, hi, Diane. Oh, we got two shivering timbers. Anyone got a color suggestion at the moment? I'm trying to avoid pink because I realize that I've done pink for like the last 6 weeks / burgundy. And I know you guys, not all of you love pink so as much as I do. So I'm trying to avoid it today for all of you. Heather. Orange. Excellent. Thank you, Sandra. Right, here we go. And orange we can do. Righty-o. Well, we could also do a purple as well. Look at that. We can do purple and orange. Oh, complementary. Like it. Right, so we're going to come in with our watercolor palette. Because I never keep these too far away. And here we go. So now we've got that one there. Yeah, so we can definitely add some purple in after this orange. So I'm going to add some orange triangles in. You can also do watercolor with stencils. I'll show you that next. In case you, like I said, you don't want to draw these patterns with your own hands. It's like, it's completely up to you. But I will show you. Because when you do watercolor with with a stencil. It does take a little bit of effort, but a few practices and you can get it down pat real easily. So look at that, everything's drying fast today. Ooh. So I'm really trying to stay in the area that the yellow has already covered, just because, like I said, our aim is not to fill the entire page today. As much as we love doing that. Now we're just going to come in. And I want to do a few orange flicks before I go on to the purple. Got some gauze there. Right, and then we're going to wash all the orange off our paintbrush and come back in and just flick with some plain water, and that's in the same areas, and that's just like so it lands on where our flicks are already at. So they're not perfect circles. I'll show you. You can also do flicking with any type of paintbrush, but if you want like a very broad type of flick, I definitely suggest fans brushes. They always work. Like fan brushes, I'm almost definite were more likely made for that type of stuff than more like made to do flicking. So here we go. We're going to put our dotty stencil down from Marlene. I know, right? Such a big terminology right there. And we're going to come in with our purple watercolor. I only have a little bit of my purple left out of this one. Now, I kind of use these a lot. Don't know if you can tell. Right, here we go. And then it's going to come through. And the trick is to hold it down as much as possible and just to spread. Don't get me wrong, where our brush was really watery, it's probably going to be just a blob, but that's okay. So here we go. Yeah, so just a blob there. So you want your brush to be mediocrely dry to do it. How do you draw a snowflake by hand? Oh. Oh. Good question. Wow. I've had these since I was, I think since my, when I was 17 at Christmas, my mum and dad got these for me because when I was 16, because I was going into grade 11 and 12, and I started to take my art a little bit more seriously when I went into grade 11. So they bought me this watercolor palette for Christmas and this one here, and as you can see, and like they've just, yeah, they've always been with me. The art journals they bought me back then are completely full now. But yeah, so they definitely led me in the right path with it and supported my and have supported my want to just create for a very long time, which is nice. Because I couldn't imagine doing much else. But yeah, it has done a lot of projects. lot. I don't know how to describe them all. Yeah. It's the QOR golden watercolor ones. I think we have a few in stock. I don't know if they're online though. I know that we probably need to get a few more. They are more on the expensive side than what Mont Mart is, just because their pigments are a lot stronger and a little bit more pure. So they're nearly completely natural, which does help because I get paint all the time on my hands, which means that I don't, like, I've never had an adverse reaction to those. Don't get me wrong, I've never had an adverse reaction to the Mont Mart either, but the QOR ones are just a little bit more, I guess, like a heavier pigment because it's more natural. And then really good at drawing patterns, lol. That's if you knew. No, Chloe, I do not know how to draw a snowflake. I know how to cut a snowflake out of paper. You know how like you fold it into multiple things and you just cut a few bits out and do it that way and then use that as a stencil, but I do not know how to how to draw a snowflake. So I'm just gonna use our bit that we've got there that's got like some extra purple sitting. I'm just gonna come in and use this step here just to spread it, and it'll just make the bits where we went a little bit too heavy-handed on the water with the stencil just kind of merge a little bit more because it's got that extra pattern coming out of it now. Okay, and there we go. And then what we want to do is next we want to, so I'm just gonna poke a hole in the top of my little inky tube, which I did have the whole set here. These inks. I know you're supposed to use them to refill those ink, like the ink pens that Mum and Dad sell, but I'm using it for paint because I can just look at that. It's a reliable pen without a nib that's going to break. Would you believe? Ta-da! And then what I want to come in and do is I just want to pour a little bit of this out on my plastic lid. Sorry, plastic lid. And just put a little bit of my ink out. And you do have to squeeze it a little bit to get the ink out. And just grab this one. And because these inks are water-based, you just spread it like you would any watercolor. See? And you can do this with most pen refills. So, you know, put a few refills and stuff like that. You can do it with those. We might just tilt the book up a little bit just so that we get a natural drip. We don't have to worry then about how we're going to create the drip because it will just happen naturally. Well, it should. 1 minute. Where's the bigger paintbrush? We might just add some water into that one there. Now I know that we are filling up the page like normal, but don't worry, I'll add some more white space in there again in a second. And then, how do I seal if I don't use it all? I just put, you know those Ziploc lunch bags, like the clip seal lunch bags? I put it into that one and seal it, and then it's okay. And if it leaks in there, I can just tip it out then onto a little plate thing and just, yeah, use it that way. So that's the whole, like, I put it in like a clip seal bag or a little container. I have like plenty of those things. And then, yeah, it keeps it nice and sealed. Because I have a tub of inks that I just go and use. Right, and then we want to come in and just get a little bit of it going every which way in that way. And now that we've got that there, like so, I think we just need a little bit of stamping, and then we might be done, actually. That looks really good. I'm surprised. Sorry, I don't normally create this controlled. Maybe we should do this more often. Yikes. Maybe my lecturers were onto something. Oh dear, that's a moment, admitting that your lecturers might have had a point 6 months after you finish uni. Woo! Yikes. Sorry. I'm just trying to find my stamping block because I really want to use my little letter stickers here, which for some reason my Y has come unstuck and is somewhere on my desk now, which I have to find eventually, but I cannot for the life of me find where I put my stamping block. Interesting. Anyway, shall we do that? We'll just use there. Oh, I know the Montmartre Premiums are nice as well. I don't have a palette of them, but I have been eyeing them off. There we go. So now, because I don't have a stamping block, so it's nope. Right. Where's this block? Here we go. I'm sorry that I'm using that. I will find it afterwards. This is why I don't clean, because I lose things, important stuff like stamping books. And although I did find a few things last night, it was very interesting. Right, so I'm just laying them out. They're not in alphabetical order. They're not spelling anything. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna need luck finding it. It's like that really small size as well. Oh, thank you, Diane. Yeah, so what we want to do is just put them down. Here we go. Right. Now I want to put these letters down just because we don't have any text on here yet. And I think it might make a really cool yeah. I have no doubt that it will turn up. Just not when I want it to. Right, here we go. Oh, one stamp there. Another stamp there. Stamp there. Right, I'm just going to take these all off to show you then what it looks like. So you can't really see the text, I'm guessing, from afar. Yeah, you can't really see it. However, can kind of, it's like, there's the faint T and like the faint G there and everything. Like it's there and it's at the level you really want it to be at, like a level where you can't really see it, but you still know it's there and it's present and it does its job, you know, like a real nice pick-me-up moment. And then we're just going to come in with our blue pen, for our blue pastel ink pen. This is my mum's, by the way, because I found out that I have my mum's pastel inks, because I thought this was my blue pen, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's working again. I must have worked a miracle. And then, no. Turns out that once the pen loses ink, it loses ink. She called me up and she's just like, I had to buy another set of these. And I was like, oh, I think I know where yours are. I'm sorry. It should be fine. So I'm just drawing some little love hearts. I think I might come in just with the silver pen again, but this time the pan pastel. The metallic fine liner, the ink is a bit thicker, so that's why I put it on the bottom layer. It gives it that natural texture already. However, I just want kind of a thin layer to this one, so I don't want to have that thickness of the actual metallic liner. So I'm just going to come in and use a pan. There we go. So, thank you. Thank you guys. So now I think we are nearly done. All we need is to add a little bit more white back in, and then that might be today's class. Would you look at that? One by artwork. Woo. So I'm just going to grab out my white paint, and I'm going to put on this stencil here because it's a lot finer, which means it'll look like the white is actually merging in a pattern type form, which will be really nice. I've just got to find my white gesso because it's on the bottom of this pile. Oh, morning, Robin. It's okay, that's why the videos are recorded. yeah, like, I'm pretty good with putting ink lids back on inks and paints and stuff like that, just because I want to be able to use the full amount of it. And I'm a sponge, like, to the point of that if I'm gonna binge eat some food, I'm gonna choose to bake it because it's cheaper than buying it. I know. That is literally the reason why I bank. So here we go. So I'm just going to come in and with my white gesso and a sponge, it's going to come in and do all that. Oh, would you look at that, Roman? This is the class for you. Oh, thanks, Marlene. Have a great craft day. It's the perfect weather for crafting. It's sunny. I love sunshine. Right, and I'm going to lift that one up so you can kind of see it. Not as bright as what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. What I'm going to come in and do is, with my skinny paintbrush, I'm just going to grab some white paint. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Heather. Oh, that sounds... Like, don't get me wrong, I was that kid that took the ink lids off and then put them on other ink lids. And then my mom only found out when she was teaching. But, you know, I don't do it anymore. I grew out of the habit. So I'm just coming in and giving the background a little bit, like the butterflies, I just put on a little bit more of it on. I'm just going to add one in a few places. Just to give it that bit more of a polished look. And then so I'm just adding, the more white you add and the more detail you add, the better off these pages with a lot of minimal coverage look. Alright, and then here we go. Spread this out a little bit more. And it's just giving that coating so that it looks like the dots are fading a little bit in this area. It also matches the dragged look / scraped look of the yellow that we did originally as well. Right, and I think that's us done for the day. And there we have it. It's our intentionally white spaced page. Thank you all for coming today. This was an interesting class. I'm sorry about being a bit late, but you know, things can't be helped in these situations, which is always glad to know. Thank you all for coming. Next week we don't have a technique yet, so please text me. This one here was for Chloe because she texted me during the week. Yes, I do answer. It does take me a couple of days sometimes. I'm truly sorry about that. Just depends on the timing and all the rest of it. I think I was supposed to remind you of something. I don't know if Mum has a live tonight. I believe we're back on Tuesday morning for cards. I believe. Do not hold me to it. She might have a live tonight. I don't know. I cannot remember, and I didn't look because, you know, I am that daughter that forgot to. But thank you all for coming, and I shall see you next week. Same time, same place. Oh, we have a box opening video later on today. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Dad's great. See, if I just fluff my way through long enough, my father will fill in the details. So thank you all for coming, and I shall see you next weekend. Bye. Excellent, Diane.